Sima says, does it mean all the way, right? Not just Zoda Atzilus. It means everything else that is Soever, means Or and Sof. The weight in the car before Atzilus. So today is Zach Tishrei. It should be a clear and a beautiful day and a day of Geula. And we are dedicating this shiur for our brothers and sisters in Eretz HaKodesh. They should be safe and they should experience complete Geula. And all the pain should turn into the laughter of the nation, the whole nation being redeemed. B'Hashgacha Pratis, we are going to learn a short maimar from the Rebbe that was said Motzei Shabbos Beraishis v'chadro, as you can see in your in the post of the maimar, in his room. That was after the Rebbe had a heart attack. Tafshin Lamed Ches, it's 1977. And this past Simchas Torah, we all had a heart attack. And the Rebbe is speaking to us now in connection to Shabbos Beraishis, which we are approaching. And it's very relevant to our time and the events that are now unfolding. So let's look inside. Bezras Hashem. Beraishis bara Elokim et hashamayim ve'es haaretz. In the beginning, Elokim created heaven and earth. V'amru Rabbeinu zichronam livracha. Amar Rabbi Yitzchak, lo haya tzarich le'aschil es haTorah ela me'achodesh hazeh lachem chulu. So Chazal said, in the name of Rabbi Yitzchak, that really the Torah should have begun with the Chodesh Hazeh Lachem, with the first mitzvah of Kiddush HaChodesh, which is only coming up in the book of Shmois. Instead, we have the whole story of Beraishis. U'ma ta'am pasach beBeraishis. So what's the reason for which the Torah, Hashem began his Torah with Beraishis, with the story of creation? Mishum koach ma'asav higid le'amo. Because Hashem wants to tell his people the power of his creation as a creator. And lehagid doesn't mean only to tell, but it means also to bring down. So Hashem wanted to bring down into our knowledge and consciousness Lases lahem nachalas goyim. Hashem wanted to demonstrate and explain his powerful position in creation as its creator, to be able to give to the Jewish people portions of goyim, of other nations. She'im yamru umos ha'olam li Yisrael listimatem. Just as happening now. Go to campuses of certain famous universities in America. That if the nations of the world will tell the Jewish people, Listimatem, you are robbers, Shukvashtem artzos shiv'a goyim, because you took over, conquered, and robbed the land of 7 nations, then the Jews should have what to answer. That's why the Torah is beginning with Beraishis. Hem omrim lahem, what are the Jewish people answering the Goyish nations? And this Maimar will be about that. What do we have to say to the non-Jewish nations about our rights to Eretz HaKodesh, to the Holy Land? But now, through this Maimar, the Rebbe will not only will answer this claim in a theological way or in a social way or in a historical way, which he also does, and Chazal do, but also we will understand the inner meaning, the spiritual, the Hasidic dimension of everything that we are going through now, as we will see in this Maimon, Be'ezras Hashem. So now, if Yomru Moisa Olam L'Yisrael Listimate, if the Goyim will tell us you are robbers, Shekvashtem Artzos Shiva Goyim, that you conquered and you took over forcefully the lands of 7 nations. Hem omrim lahem, the Jewish people are telling them, are answering them, Kol haaretz shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the whole earth belongs to God. Hu bra'ah unesana la'asher yashar be'enav. Hashem created it and gave it to whoever he finds fit. Birtzono netana lahem. It was the will of God to initially give that land to them, to the non-Jewish nations. Uvirtzono netala mehem unesana lanu. And when the time came, it was the will of God to take it away from those nations that did not deserve it and gave it to us. ומבואר בזה בדרושי רבותינו נשיאנו, and it is explained. Now let's dive in this Hasidic explanation. So we have a more revealed Nigle kind of answer that we have a divine right to this land. This land was created by God, and he has the right to give it to whoever he finds fit. And he did in the beginning allow these 7 nations to live there, and then he decided that it's time to take it away from them and give it to the Jewish nation. But through this, we will also understand through this Maimar of the Rebbe, what is the spiritual advantage of taking over portions of non-Jewish lands according to Hashem's guidance, and especially the land of Israel, that we're changing it from the land of Canaan to the land of Israel. What is so important in that spiritually, and how beneficial it is to the world, that it's worth it not to start the Torah with a Chodesh Hazeh Lachem, which soon you'll see how important a Chodesh Hazeh Lachem is, the first mitzvah. Rather, Hashem decided to begin the Torah with Ma'aseh Beraishis. So מבואר בזה בדרושי רבותינו נשיאנו, וזה מה שהיה צריך להתחיל את התורה מהחודש הזה לכם הוא. Really, the Rebbeim explained, really, the Torah should have begun with what we read in Shmoes, החודש הזה לכם הוא ראש חודשים. That's how the Torah should have begun, with the mitzvah of Kiddush HaChodesh, Rosh Chodesh Nisan. Why? Why the Torah should have begun with that? Explain the Rebbeim, כי עניין החודש הזה הוא ייחוד סובב וממלא. What does it mean, החודש הזה? החודש הזה means the unification of סובב and ממלא. HaChodesh, the Rebbe will explain, is memale, represents memale, and Hazeh, this Chodesh, the Hazeh represents Sovev. And the inyan of HaChodesh Hazeh is the yichud, the unification of Sovev and memale. What is the unification of Sovev and memale? And by the way, any one of you is welcome to chip in your inputs. We're just learning together. So memala means the way Hashem invests his energy, his presence in a way that is tailored and limited to the vessels and the capacities of each world and each creation. That's Memale. Is the way Hashem compromises his presence according to our limitations and our boundaries. What is Soivev? Please mute yourselves. What is Soivev? Soivev is that aspect of divinity which is infinite and not compromised and not tailored to the limitations of the world. So Yichud Soivev of Memale is that at the same time that we are conscious of the presence of Hashem within our finite world and our finite consciousness and our finite being, we should also be able to contain the recognition and the perception of Hashem the way He is infinite and not limited to our limitations. It's something that is not easy to fathom. But that's the yichud, that's the agenda of Torah and mitzvahs. Yichud Soivev and Memale, and we'll explain more. The Rebbe will explain. Ki chodesh hu b'chinas malchus. Chodesh represents malchus. Chodesh ishtoi. Chodesh is the wife. Chodesh, the women operate according to the moon. We have monthly cycles. So chodesh is Ishto, is Malchus, is the female aspect of the heroes. I'm sorry, I need to mute people because you can unmute yourselves as you need, as you wish, if you have something to say. So Chodesh is the female aspect of the Spheros. Chodesh is Malchus. Chodesh is the woman. And Malchus is B'chinas Memale Kol Almin. Malchus is the way Elokus is revealed. Malchus of the higher world reveals the Elokus according to the limitations of the lower world. So while Malchus is the feminine aspect is Memale Kol Almin, וזה, so the החודש הזה לכם, what's זה? זה הוא עניין גילוי. Number one, זה is גילוי, where Elokus is not hidden under the limitations and the coverings of the world. Rather, Elokus is begilui, ze, you can point it and say this, you can point at it because it's begilui. כמאמר הז"ל, מראה באצבעו ואומר זה, like a person can point with his finger and say ze, this is, and that is representing Yesod and Zo. Yesod, the way Yesod is including all the male middles. So we have a yichud of Zo and Malchus. Yesod and Malchus, the male and the female. Zo is the Kadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh, the one that is transcending, that represents Soivev, and Malchus represents Memale. Yichud Soivev Kol Almin or Memale Kol Almin. The unification of the aspect of divine revelation that is encompassing all worlds because it's not compromised, not adjusted, not limited to the world, it's infinite. And then this becomes also unified with Memale Kol Almin, with the way Hashem can reveal itself or its light to the creations according to their vessels. And there will be a unification of both. And that's what the Rebbe says, Uperush HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem. So, HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem, to you, it should be in you. In your consciousness, you'll be able to contain the infinite as well. ושבבחינת ממלא כל העלמין, which is חודש, יהיה בו גילוי סובב כל העלמין, הזה. That in the ממלא כל העלמין, in our consciousness, in our ability to perceive, and to sense and to experience will be not only the finite, the limited, covered up energy of Hashem, rather there will be a revelation of Sovev Kol Almin, the way divinity is infinite and not limited to boundaries and to Gvul.
Wait, I have a question about that? You were saying that the za with the like zeranpin, meaning the emotions, meaning the yesod. How does that connect with sovev?
So when we say Hakadosh Baruch Hu, Hakadosh means Zo. Zo, in referring to worlds, is in a manner of Kadosh, of Sovev Kol Almin, because it's not yet adjusted and tailored. That is created by Malchus.
So it's only unified at this point. It's unified, you're saying. The unification of the oneness as pure as that can be is in the sovev.
Well, the Sovev represents Hashem revelation, which is not limited to the vessels of creations.
So it's more than just the za. It's right. It's more than the sovev is even more. But how are you connecting that?
In the context of our worlds, this comes to be Zod Atzilus in this case, because it's the way Hashem relates to worlds, but from his perspective, not from the world perspective. That is what Malchus creates. And the unification of both is the ability to remain a world that is conscious of the energy of Hashem, of divinity, that vitalizes the world and energizes the world and gives the world its existence. And at the same time, to be able to contain also, while maintaining this finitude, to contain also the awareness of the infinite energy of Hashem, because there will not be a barrier between the two anymore. One will be revealed through the other. The bli gvul will be revealed through the gvul. The infinite will be revealed through the finite.
I see. And that whatever else comes along with that, it's like the doorway. These now Hashem's attributes are the doorway.
We will see how far it goes. And
I'm sorry?
We will see how far it goes, and I'm giving you a tip that we will see that to conquer Nachlas Goyim and to elevate unholy parts of the world, beginning with Eretz Yisrael, Eretz HaKodesh, to a holy world, to make a holy land out of it, that even transcends Yichud, Sovev, and Memale. Yes.
That transcends it?
Yes. Let's look.
Okay.
Therefore, as Sima is saying, anything can be higher than that. We should have begun the Torah. Hashem should have begun the Torah with a Chodesh Hazeh Lachem. What could be higher than Yichud, Sovev, and Memale? What could be higher than the Yichud of the light of Hashem that transcends world with the light of Hashem that is immanent in the world? Ki tachlis haTorah mitzvosea hu inyan yichud sovev u'memale. Claims Sima, what could be more than that? The tachlis, the goal of Torah and its mitzvahs is just this: the inyan of yichud sovev u'memale, to unify the infinite with the finite. The finite shouldn't be exiled. The finite is just as a divine expression as the infinite. And we should see how they are one. And that's what Torah and mitzvahs are enabling. So now the Rebbe explains it spiritually. Base. והנה עניין המשחת הסובב שעל ידי תורה ומצוות בשורשו הראשון. Sima says, does it mean all the way, right? Not just Zod Atzilus. It means everything else that is Sovev, means Or and Sof. The way it's in the Kav, before Atzilus. Adam Kadmon, the Kav. And even says the Rebbe, Inyan Amshachas HaSovev Shal Yedei Torah Mitzvos, Beshorsho HaRishon, you want to know. Sima wants to make sure that we go all the way to the beginning. What are we mamshir when we're creating through Torah and mitzvahs, this bringing to our awareness the sovev, and the yichud and the unification of sovev with the conscious finite creation. So the Rebbe said that through Torah and mitzvahs, what's the shoresh harishon? how far it goes in the original source and root of the Sovev. We are talking about Hu Hamshachas Or Ein Sof Shel Lifnei HaTzimtzum. Stay with us and see, the Rebbe will explain. We are talking about bringing down Or Ein Sof, the infinite light, before the Tzimtzum. וכדאיסא בעמק המלך בתחילתו, as it's brought in עמק המלך, Hasidic book, in this beginning, דבריאס העולמות היה על ידי צמצום הראשון. Kabbalah Hasidus book. The Brias HaOlamos happened through the first primordial Tzimtzum, שהיה באור אין סוף, that occurred in Or Ein Sof, ונשאר חלל ומקום פנוי. What remained after this Tzimtzum? חלל ומקום פנוי, a vacant space, an empty space. We know already, Hasidus explains that it's not literally so, nothing left when Hashem made a tzimtzum in his life, but to us, it's a halal and makom panui, which means the Or Ein Sof was not, this is not the point of the Maimar now, but just to make sure that we all know that the tzimtzum in Or Ein Sof wasn't that Hashem took it away, rather he took the revealed aspect of it away, that it wasn't revealed anymore. So to the Mekabim, to the recipients, for us, it's like it was taken away. There was a tzimtzum in Or Ein Sof, ונשאר חלל ומקום פנוי, as עמק המלך explains, ומזה הוא שורש הסחבוס הכלים ומציאוס העולמות. And from this halal in Or Ein Sof, now this is the shoresh of the creation of vessels, of kelim, of limitations, and eventually the existence of worlds. Inyan Ma'aseh Beraishis, which is now our parsha. The inyan of Ma'aseh Beraishis, the way it began all the way from the Tzimtzum in Or Ein Sof. ומה שכתוב, what we learn in our parsha this week, ויניחהו בגן עדן לעובדה ולשומרה, that Hashem placed Adam in the Garden of Eden to work it and to guard it, שקאי על העבודה the Torah and mitzvahs, that it refers to the service of Torah and mitzvahs, לעובדה זה רמ"ח מצוות עשה, to work it, it's Ramach 248 positive mitzvahs, ולשומרה, and to guard it, the garden, זה שעשה מצוות לא תעשה. This is the 365 mitzvahs of things that we should not refrain from doing. What is it for? ולהמשיך תוספוס אורוס על ידי הקו מאור אין סוף שלפני הצמצום. So we know that first there was Or Ein Sof ממלא כל החלל, and as Emek HaMelech explains, Hashem made the tzimtzum in Or Ein Sof, and Hasidus, and especially Hasidus Bad explains, lo kipshuto, it's not, Hashem didn't take it away, but it took away the ability to perceive it. And then Hashem entered into this halal, into this empty space that became the shoresh of the Nivraim, the shoresh of creation. Hashem brought back a curve, a thin line from Or Ein Sof, from this infinite light, just enough to create this whole Seder Ishtalshelus that is described in Ma'aseh Beraishis. What is the purpose and goal of Torah and mitzvahs? To use this curve, this thin light, to draw more light than just the existence of worlds, rather to bring back into the reality of worlds the infinite light that was memale kol halal, that was filling the entire space before the tzimtzum, to bring that back, that ideal Or Ein Sof that was memale kol halal before the constriction of the light. And we'll see soon that it doesn't end there, as we learn in those who learn Samach Vav. עד שלעשי די גילוי אור אינסוף במקום החלל, כמו שהיה קודם הצמצום. Until, and hold on, it's not the end, it's not the happy end yet, but it's very happy already. Until there will be gilui of the infinite light in the place of the empty space, just as it was before the tzimtzum. So through Torah and mitzvahs, Yichud, Sobev, and Memale, we can bring back that infinite light, and now it can be revealed. That's what it means, it's big back, that now worlds can stay in existence and yet contain and perceive this Or Ein Sof that was Memale the Halal and revealed in the Halal before the Tzimtzum. וזהו לא היה צריך להתחיל את התורה אלא מהחודש הזה לכם כולו. And this is why we should have begun the Torah with החודש הזה לכם, because that is the goal, that is the purpose. ייחוד סבב וממלא, that eventually in the beginning it wasn't possible for worlds to exist and contain this infinite light. Anytime worlds contain infinite light, they disappear, they lose their form and their existence. But through Torah and mitzvahs, now there can be a finite seder ishtalshelus that can remain in existence and as it is, contain the infinite light of before the tzimtzum. Now Hashem can reveal his light in an infinite, unrestrained way.
I think of it, sorry, I think of it like trickling in, like only a little bit at a time, because we couldn't contain more than that. But each mitzvah and Torah, right, it like trickles in. Yeah, that
the generation we refine and refine and refine and refine our souls and the world until the world can contain it. So that's why Torah should have begun with HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem, Yichud of the infinite with the finite. סיפור מעשה בראשיס, הכל הוא אחר הצמצום. The whole story of creation, as we are learning in this parsha, all of this is happening after the tzimtzum of the infinite light. ומכיוון שעניינה של התורה הוא המשחת אור אינסוף שלמעלה מהצמצום, and since what is the agenda of Torah is to bring back, to bring down the infinite light higher than the tzimtzum, הוא צריך להתחיל את התורה לא במעשה בראשיס כי אם מהחודש הזה. We should have begun the Torah not with the story of Beraishis, of creation. That's all after the tzimtzum. We want to begin with the Chodesh Lazeh, which means that we want to go to the before the tzimtzum and from there bring into our reality. שהוא עניין המשך מבחינת הסובב הזה, החודש הזה לכם. We should start with this. שבשורשו, in its root, what is הזה? You're right, Sima, it's not just Zohar Atzilus. Relatively, Zohar Atzilus, but ultimately, הוא המשחת אור אינסוף שלפני הצמצום. You're talking about Kadosh all the way to Or Ein Sof before the tzimtzum. And therefore, the Torah should have begun with Shmois, HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem, not with Beraishis. Turn the page, Gimel. ומה טעם פתח בבראשיס? Now, ladies, you go, the Rebbe is taking us a little bit into the secret of what's happening now in Eretz HaKodesh. What is the reason that Hashem opened the Torah with Beraishis? משום כוח מעשיו הגיד לעמו, because Hashem wants to tell his people the power of his actions, the power of Hashem's involvement in creation, the power of him as the creator, לתת להם נחלת גויים, that he has the full right to give them, the Jewish people, lands of non-Jews. V'hainu, meaning, but not only that it is like a divine right, The Rebbe will now explain the spiritual truthness of it. והיינו, שהעניין דכוח מעשיו גומר לתת להם נחלת גויים. Look at this. The idea of Hashem revealing the power of his governing and ruling this world to give to the Jewish people lands of non-Jews. הוא נעלה יותר. It is even higher. גם מעניין המשחת הסובל. It's even higher than bringing the infinite light through Torah and mitzvahs. Which means בחינת אור אין סוף שלפני הצמצום. So, receiving from God a land that belonged initially to a non-Jew and turning it, who doesn't deserve to keep it, because he's corrupted midos and so on, as we see very clearly. And the right of Hashem to take it and to give it to the people that they have the power to transform it to a holy divine land, that reaches even higher. It's higher than na'ala yoter, than bringing the infinite light that was filling the halal before the tzimtzum.
Wait, so you're saying that can contain more light, and in a sense we can be that much closer to Geula?
First we have to listen. First Hashem created the tzimtzum. We have to make room, halal, in our mind. And then let the light, the kav come in, and then we can create a geula. But first we have to listen. Tachlis hakavana de Torah mitzvahs. Because you know what? As the Rebbe Rashab teaches in Samach Vav, those who are learning with me Samach Vav, and hopefully will continue in B'ez Hashem, maybe even next week. Stay tuned, and also for Sha'ar HaYichud and Torah Or in B'ez Hashem. The Tachlis, we spoke about the purpose of Torah and mitzvahs in bringing the infinite light that was there before the Tzimtzum back. That now we are not just finite worlds that are disconnected from Hashem's infinity, rather we are a unification of both. We are finite worlds that have contained the infinite presence of God as well, while maintaining our boundaries. That's amazing. It's amazing Geula. But the Rebbe says it doesn't stop by bringing back the infinite light that Hashem had to hide when he made the Tzimtzum. Rather, the Rebbe says, and here is the point of this Maimar, lehamshir b'chinas or chadash. The agenda of Torah, the ultimate goal of Torah and mitzvahs, is to bring a new light that was not even there before the Tzimtzum, not revealed before the Tzimtzum. Hainu, meaning, בחינת עצמוס אור אינסוף שלמעלה מהאור שהיה ממלא מקום החלל. That means that we are talking about the essence of the infinite light, the essence of the divine expression that is even higher than the infinite light that was filling the place of the halal before the Hashem made the Tzimtzum. This is a light that was never revealed, even before the Tzimtzum. It's a new light from the essence of God, of divinity. והמשחת אור זה, המשחת, to bring down this light, is not just normal Torah and mitzvah service. It's not enough. זהו דווקא על ידי עבודת הבירורים. This is דווקא through the avodah of elevation, transformation, changing unholiness to holiness. וזהו היתרון שבכוח מעשיו. This is what Hashem wanted to reveal to the Jewish people. The power of his action that is invested in our neshamas, even the way they are in Gufim. The power that we have to transform that which is ungodly to godliness. לתת להם נחלת גויים. This is the milah of giving the non-Jews ungodly lands And so they should transform them to holy lands על החודש הזה, even over החודש הזה, the חודש of Torah and Mitzvah, the ייחוד of סובב ממלא. כי עניין החודש הזה הוא המשחס אור הסובב. Why? Because החודש הזה, that's bringing אור הסובב. What אור הסובב in its root, in its ultimate source? שבשורשו הוא בחינת האור שהיה ממלא מקום החלל. That the אור הסובב in its שורש is the or that was revealed, the or and sof that was revealed before the tzimtzum, in that place of that became the halal after the tzimtzum. That is the shoresh of soivel. However, ועל ידי עבודת הבירורים, through the avodah of transformation, the ענייני העולם שנפלו מזין מלאכים, transforming, elevating, picking up the worldly physical matters שנפלו, that fell down from their holy state, from the Zayin Melachim, originally from the 7 meters of Tohu that preceded the Shviras HaKelim, that Shviras HaKelim became klipos, became unholy in our world. These are Malchei Edom, the kings of Edom that ruled before the king of Israel in Beraishis, Lamed Vav, I think. Shebiotzono netana lahem, that originally there were Zayin Melachim of Torah, before the king of Israel. Shebiotzono Hashem netana lahem, Hashem gave it to them. Kema'amar Hazal, as our Chachamim say, Bonei olamot u'machrivan. Hashem builds worlds and destroys them. ובני ישראל מבררים ויורשים אותם. When worlds are corrupted and Hashem destroys them, Bnei Yisrael, the children of Israel, are refining, elevating, and inheriting those worlds, those portions. ונעשו נחלת יעקב, and they become the portion of Jacob. And through doing this, and this is what should happen in Gaza now, it should become a holy land, run by Torah and the consciousness and the rules of Torah. And through that, we are not only bringing down the original infinite light that we couldn't contain before Torah and mitzvahs. We are bringing ממשיכים בחינת אור חדש, a new light, שלמעלה מהאור שהיה ממלא מקום החלל, which is higher than the light that filled the halal before the tzimtzum. וכמו שהוא בכלל העולם, עולמו ביד ומשם ייפרד, as it is בכלל in the whole סדר השתלשלות, and especially ביד, בריאה יצירה נסיעה, the worlds of separation, the created worlds that feel themselves separate from their source, it not only happens, it will happen, just as it will happen to the old worlds of Biyah, the worlds that feel disconnected, we will feel connected and one with the Or and Sof that was shining and revealed before the Tzimtzum. But also we will experience in these Biyah, we will all experience Or Chadash that was never there, even before the Tzimtzum, from the essence of divinity, from the essence of our Sof. And this is not only generally in Biyah, the Rebbe says, but בא גם כן בפרט הבירור דכיבוש ארצות שבעה גויים. It is also specifically coming in the conquering of the lands of the 7 nations. And Jews should own the entire land, also the east side of the Jordan, and the south border, and the north borders. Everything should be conquered by the Jewish people, because Hashem gave it to us to make it holy. שישראל מהפכים אותם לארץ ישראל. That the Jews are turning them over from ungodly states and lands and countries to the land of Israel, to the divine land, the home of God. Dalet. והנה מכיוון דזה שברצונו נתנה להם, לזמן מסוים, ובכדי שיהיה אחר כך ברצונו נטלה מהם ונתנה לנו. Now we have to look at it like that. That since that it was initially the Ratzon of Hashem to give those land, or let's talk about now Eretz Israel, give that land, it means any land, but it really, the core of it is Eretz Israel. This, that it originally it was Hashem's will to give it to 7 nations that were not the Jewish nation for a limited amount of time, is bichdei sheyeh achar kach, is in order for later on. It was originally that was the plan, that in order for later on, birtzono netala mehem, that it will be the will of God that when the time comes, He will take it away from them, unesana lanu, and He will give it to us. Harei pashut. And from this, the Rebbe says, it's very simple. Shebeim machlitim betoiket, that if we decide and resolve firmly, azai mevarerim benakel beyoter et artzot shiv'a goyim, then we are elevating very easily the lands of the 7 nations, v'chol ha'olam kulo, and the entire world. Sheyeh dira lo yizbarach, that it should be the home of Hashem Yisbarach, and it should be resolved by all Yidden in Eretz Yisrael and on entire the world. וזה מה שנדמה שצריך לזה יגיעה ועמל, and this what it looks like. Wow, what are you talking about? It looks like impossible. We need so much labor and so much toil and so much. It's impossible. How can we do this all? ועד שאומות העולם, and how can we deal with it all? To the extent that the nations of the world are screaming at us, טוענים בנוגע לכל בירור, they scream at us and they claim regarding every step of our elevation and transformation of the world. ליסטים אתם, you are robbers, they scream at us. ומצד גודל ההלם וההסתר, that, the Rebbe says, it's not the truth, it's just because how thick the curtain is now, how much concealment of the divine truth, how much Helem and Esther, how much the divine presence and its truth is concealed. מה שאין נרגש בעולם, אשר כל הארץ של הקדוש ברוך הוא היא. It is not sensed by the world that this land belongs to God, וכי ממך הכל, and that everything is from Him. אבל הרי תכלס הכוונה של ההלם וההסתר, but we should know clearly, today is Zach Tishrei, we should see it Zach, clearly, that the purpose of this terrible Helem and Esther that we experience, ובכדי שיהיה וביקשתם משם, in order it should be that you should seek the truth and seek God from them, from the furthest devastating experiences that we are experiencing now. From there we should seek truth and we should seek God, and the entire Jewish nation should do that, starting with my own self. As Yidden sollen suchen und gefinnen den Ebersten bechol inyanei haolam, that Jews should look and find Hashem in all matters of the world, be'ahelemos ba'esterim, in the concealments, in the hiddenness. And we should know that this experience is not just a divine flop. וכמשל האב המסתיר עצמו מבנו הקטן בכדי להרוס את חוכמת הבן שמבין שההסתר והאלם אינו אלא בכדי שיבקשנו וימצאנו. And it's like the mashal, as the Mittel Rebbe writes in Sha'ar HaEmunah. In the book Sha'ar HaYichud, we have Torah Or of the Mittel Rebbe. You have there 2 Maimarim, Sha'ar HaEmunah and Sha'ar HaYichud. We are learning Tuesday morning Sha'ar HaYichud, but it's before that the first Maimar in Torah Sefer Torah Or from the Mittel Rebbe is Sha'ar HaEmunah, and there the Mittel Rebbe brings the mashal that also was brought by the Alter Rebbe. The Mittel Rebbe is expounding on this mashal. It's kedai to learn it in such times. כמשל האב המסתיר את עצמו מבנו הקטן. It's like a mashal of the father that hides himself from his little child in order to reveal the wisdom of the child who needs to understand that this concealment and hiddenness is just in order for the child to seek the father, to intensify his search for his father and find him until he finds him. והבטיחה סוירה שכאשר הוא ביקשתם משם, and Torah promises us that when we are looking for God right there in the pain and in the devastation, אז בוודאי ומצאת, surely you will find, שכובשים את כל העולם, that we conquer the entire world, ועושים ממנו דירה לו יזברך, and we'll make from this world a home for God, עד אשר אז אהפוך אל העמים שפה ברורה, לעבדו שכם אחד, that all the consciousness in the language of the nations will turn over to have a clear conversation and a clear language, that its purpose will be solely and only to serve God shoulder to shoulder in unity. והייתה להשם המלוכה, and the whole world will be giving the kingship to Hashem himself. And let's do the end of the Maimar. Hey, ויש לקשר זה גם עניין ויעקב הלך לדרכו. We need to connect it with the time that we are holding now. We are approaching Shabbos Beraishis, and Motzei Shabbos Beraishis, we declare Yaakov הלך לדרכו, שבמוצאי Shabbos Beraishis, והגם שהולך לדרכו בענייני הרשוש ובעובדין דחול במשך כל השנה, that even though it's time to go on his way, even in inyanim of reshus, not just mitzvahs, but mundane life, be'uvdin dechol, mundane days, b'meshech kol hashana, mikol makom eino yare mize. So even though now we are coming from the Holy Tishrei into the year, and the year looks so challenging, eino yare mize, he is not afraid of it. כי אם הולך לבטח דרכו, he is walking on his way reassured, ובשמחה ובטוב לבב, and with joy and the gladness of the heart. וזהו גם מה שבמוצאי שבס, ובפרט במוצאי שבס בראשיס, שאז מתחיל בעיקר הסדר, וביעקב הלך לדרכו, אומרים אל תירא עבדי יעקב. This is why Motzei Shabbos, and especially any Motzei Shabbos, and especially Motzei Shabbos Beraishis, that then the inyan of Yaakov alach ledarko, Yaakov went on his way, begins in the year. We say Al tira avdi Yaakov, don't be afraid, my servant Jacob. Ki b'motzei Shabbos mistalekes haneshama yesera, because the extra neshamas that gives us extra kochos and extra consciousness is removed. Motzei Shabbos leaves us, וצריך לחזור ולרד בבחינת יעקב עבדי בכל ששת ימי המעשה, and we have to again descend in the manner of Yaakov, not Israel. Yaakov shows the way we deal with the mundane worldly experiences of the 6 days of the week. לברר בירורים בביאה, to refine and elevate that which is ungodly. It's scary. Deal with all the enemies. לכך אומר, therefore he says, Al tira avdi Yaakov milered sham. Don't be afraid, my servant Yaakov, descending there. Uvaze nosnim koach ve'oz. And by this we are given power and strength. Kolu. V'atam laze li'inyan al tira. What's the reason for this? That we should not be afraid. Hu ki lavaye elokav imo. Because Hashem Elokim is with him. Shekol echad ve'echad miYisrael. Gam mishu b'bchinas Yaakov. That each and every one of us, even that who is in a manner of Yaakov, Ekev, b'chol makom u'b'chol zman, every place and any time, u'b'chol inyan, and every condition, v'gam b'chutz la'aretz, even he is not in the Holy Land, u'v'yimei achol, and in mundane days, u'v'din dechol, in mundane activities, Havaya Elokav u'imo. Havaya, his God is with him. ועד שנעשה שותף לקדוש ברוך הוא במעשה בראשיס, to the extent that he becomes a partner with Hashem in creation, שהוא פועל חידוש בהבריאה, that every Jew is accomplishing and effecting an innovation in the Bria, in creation, כמו הקדוש ברוך הוא כביכול, just as Hashem, so to speak. כי על ידי עבודתו בעבודת הבירורי, through our avodah, in refinement and elevation, לעשות את העולם דירה לו יתברך, to turn this world, starting with our own guf and our own nefesh habahamis, and the entire world, to make it a home for God, who poel chidush behabria. Each one of us is affecting a newness and innovation in creation. דזהו גם מה שבשבס בראשיס, קוראים בתורה בראשיס ברא אלוקים את השמיים ואת הארץ. This is why on Shabbos Beraishis we read in the Torah Beraishis Hashem created, Elokim created את השמיים ואת הארץ. שעל ידי זה נעשה בריאת השמיים והארץ וכל צבאיהם מחדש ובאופן חדש. By this, that every year we read it anew, and with the consciousness that what is it about? It's about Netana Lanu. It's about our ability to turn it into a home for Hashem. Then we are creating a creation of Shamayim Ba'aretz in a manner of new, of Chidush. We are bringing a Chidush into creation. Ve'ad shiyeh Hashamayim HaChadashim ve'Haaretz HaChadasha. As the Navi Yeshayahu says in Perek Samach Vav, that there will be, the Geula will be Shamayim Chadashim ve'Haaretz Chadasha. And in the context of our Maimar, what does it mean that we are partners with Hashem to turn it into Shamayim Chadashim ve'Haaretz Chadasha? And Harvard University should also know that they will benefit from it as well. All those that are demonstrating there for the Palestinians, they should know that Shamayim Chadashim ve'Haaretz Chadasha, the Goyim will celebrate the Geula and will appreciate the Melucha of Hashem in a manner that, look at number 29, והוא המשכה מבחינת עצמוס אין סוף שלמעלה מגילוי הקו ולמעלה מהאור שהיה ממלא מקום החלל. That means that what will be revealed then as a result of our refinement of the world, המשכה from עצמוס, from the essence of the infinite, the essence of godliness, which is higher than the Gilui of the Kav, and even higher than the light that was filling the Halal before the Tzimtzum. It's a new light from the essence of God. It will be a new Shamayim, a new Aretz, that all, Yidden and non-Jews as well, will celebrate and will experience with a full bliss and a recognition that Hashem Echad U'Shmo Echad. And it should be Tekef B'Yad Mamash, led by the Rebbe Melech HaMashiach, and it should be Gesundheit, in a manner that Hashem will create miracles that will justify the pain, the unbearable pain that the entire Jewish nation is experiencing now, and everyone should see in a revealed way Shamayim Chadashim and Aretz Chadasha, good news, begashmis, beruchnius, and should be Tekef Miyad Mamash.